it comes to a full line machine or something that draws electricity, then yeah, I'll be more persuaded to consider offering a commission, because then it makes more sense.
Absolutely.
But definitely not with a bulk candy machine, because then it's like I'm working for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to know. We transitioned away from what we were going to start with, but I like that a lot because I think that gives a perception to people about who we are and how we think. And I think that's even better because once people understand who we are, maybe they'll align with us or they won't. And obviously that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I think also you pivoted to a good thing with locating. This is my second question in a row, but I have one more question, I guess, and then you can, ask away. But locating wise, I do have a video on my channel about locating. Some locating tips that I have and stuff. I actually work with the National Children's Cancer Society with all my bulk machines, not with my larger machines. But do you believe that when people are first starting this business, they should buy the machines first or go locating first?
Me personally, I bought the machines first because I know if I have the machine there, it's going to motivate me to get out there and do it.
Fair.
It all depends. You have to know yourself.
Yeah.
What works, what will work better for you. If you buy the machine, are you just going to let it sit there? Are you lazy? Or are you the type of person that machine sitting there is going to motivate you? I think it's individualistic. It all depends on your personal idiosyncrasies, your traits, like what type of a personality you are.
Absolutely.
Me, I consider myself like an alpha male, like a type A personality. Like I go out, I don't mind talking to anybody. Only thing they can do is tell me no, and I don't care. Okay, thank you very much. If you change your mind or you have anybody who may want one, here's my card. May I leave you my card? And that's it. There's no harm done to me. I don't care. I'm not shy. So like it doesn't hurt me one way or the other. If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. So I think some people aren't like that. Some people are very shy or timid, or they're introverts. And, it's maybe a little more difficult for them to express themselves like that. Some people have fear of rejection. I remember listening to some other motivational speaker. Arnold Schwarzenegger said one time, don't be paralyzed by the fear of failure. Because if you're paralyzed by the fear of failure, you'll never accomplish anything. You have to be willing to fail, because nobody is successful their first time. And if you did, maybe you're lucky. But it doesn't continue like that. You have to have many failures. Think about how many shots Michael Jordan missed before he started making a lot. You have to fail. It's just part of it. Absolutely. So, and the more you get out there and do it, the more you fail, you have that yes coming around the corner.
And you're learning, you figure out your road. I failed so many times, and I say it as if it's a good thing. I promote it on social media and tell people, but I think it's a bad thing to some people, obviously, but I think I failed 9 times up to this point in my life. And I'm only 22 years old, and I've started 9 different businesses where quote unquote failed. They don't still exist today. That's the aspect that I mean by that. But it is necessary. But at the same time, with our channels, our biggest thing is impacting other people and teaching people how not to fail at what we did when we first started. So I think that's a big thing.
I think consistency is one of the biggest things.
Consistency is the number one thing. If you want to be successful, is consistently learning something about business every single day, or consistently doing something towards your business every single day. You will be successful eventually. That's just how
I don't think that people succeed like instantaneously, and I don't think people fail instantaneously.
Yeah.
I think that failure is the accumulation of a lot of things that you didn't do.
Okay.
Little decisions that you didn't make. Okay.
Absolutely.
When your alarm clock went off, you hit the snooze button, you didn't get up. You were supposed to make that phone call that you didn't make. You were supposed to pay that bill that you didn't pay. You were supposed to go out and take care of this, get this location or get that, as far as the vending business or whatever your business is. A lot of the little things that you didn't do is what contributed to your failure. And then on the other side, it's not the person who's the most smartest or has the most money or the best looking or whatever. It's the person who procrastinates the least. I know that I have to get this done today. So they have those small victories every single day. They're the one who got up when that alarm went off, or they got up before the alarm went off. They were the one who made that phone call a day early. They were the one who went out and did the extra one, went out there early and stayed late. Like, that's where I believe the success comes from. It's just continuous victory after one victory after another. Like the old saying, a saying that I love to say, by the yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, anything's a cinch, you know? And I try to live by that too.
I love that.
Like I told you, remember I told you I went and I bought over 100 vending machines one time.
Yeah.
And they were just sitting over there on my pergola and my porch. And I was looking at them, and then I cleaned up a few of them. I got them out. I cleaned a few. I sold them. And I'm looking at them, and it's like the pile isn't reducing. It's still just a huge pile. No matter how many machines I was cleaning and getting out, it was discouraging because it was so many machines there. So I went and bought a shed. I said, I have to get these out of my view because it's discouraging. I put them all up in the shed, and I pulled 5 out at a time. And when I achieved that goal of fixing those 5, I felt like I felt more confident, because what do victories do? Victories build confidence.
Absolutely.
And every little victory you get, you build more and more confidence. So as I would get more machines out, I'd go draw a few more out. So I was eliminating the discouraging factors that were around me that I knew would discourage me. And sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to be like those horses in the race with the blinders on. Don't let anything distract you from seeing your goal.
100%.
Like the saying, obstacles are what you see when you take your eyes off the prize, right?
I love it. Absolutely. Like everything you're saying should relate to everyone that's listening to us. Maybe it doesn't to some people, but it even relates to all vending and starting a business, because if you can't conquer your mind, you really can't conquer your life. And I think that's what we're both saying. And I think with the vending business, pivoting back a little bit from what you just said, get your first location. If you're someone who constantly watches Mike's channel or constantly watches my channel, just go out, get your first location, find a vending machine and place it. You're going to make a couple bucks. You're not going to get rich off one machine. Don't think like that. But go out, place your second. It's a start. It's an inch. It's an inch on your yard, and that's exactly it. And I really like that saying. I've actually never heard that saying, but you could conquer inch by inch with this business, because it's once you get one, it's easier to get 2. It's easier to get 3. It becomes easier as you get more and more. Exactly. I love that.
Confidence grows with each victory.
Of course. Yes,
you don't
exactly.
have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And that's all it takes. When I first started my YouTube channel, I started with a camera on my phone, you know, and I was holding the camera wrong. I was recording myself like this. And not till I got to like my 20th video or 30th video did I realize that I had to turn it this way to get the full screen. But it didn't matter. I wasn't afraid to fail. I wasn't afraid to start. I started.
Yeah.
You know? And now my channel I really just started to document my journey, where I could look back and see kind of like where I've grown, and if I could, you know, grow something like this. Yeah. And now it's become something so much more than just me. I've reached a lot of people, and I've created a community. People ask me questions that they want to get started, and I've always been interested in passive income, and this is kind of my way to teach people a way to create a passive income for yourselves through vending. I do a lot of other things. I don't only do vending, but you know, I try to keep my channel strictly into this genre. I could branch out to a little bit more because it is entrepreneurship as it is. But I try to stay on the genre and stay on the subject. But the thing is, I definitely want to encourage people to create some kind of passive income for themselves. So they don't have to work every hour to get money. They're trading their time for money, where you're clocking in at a job. You know, who wants to do that all your life?
No one. The answer should be no one. It should be no one, but people do.
Active income is important. You need that active income wheel.
That's fair.
Know, because that has to pour off into whatever you're creating for yourself.
Absolutely.
And you have to do that till you grow whatever you have on the side to the point where either it passes your active income or to where it's at least self-sustainable, where you could turn your active income wheel into something else. But the problem I see is a lot of people either turn that wheel too quick and this crashes, or they wait too long to turn it. So the thing is finding the perfect median to turn that wheel and to create multiple streams of passive income.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And that's awesome because it starts
with
discipline, consistency, and just doing, honestly, right? Like, it's true. Everything, a lot of what you're saying even motivates me to even go out and get more locations. I'm not going to lie here, because I feel like if people at home feel the way I do about what you're saying, I think it's completely true. I think a lot of what you're saying is completely true. And I'm learning a lot from you, honestly. We've only spoken a little bit. I'm glad we got to do this. I'm definitely glad we got to do this.
Another little analogy I want to compare them to is this is really good. And I got this from someone who was close to me. They said, because of the way I always like to have my money invested in a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And they told me an analogy like this, and it made a lot of sense to me. Every vending machine that you put out, it's like you have a piggy bank out there, and people are filling up your piggy bank, and you're giving them kind of like a handful of thank you candy for filling up your piggy bank. You know what I mean? So think about like people who invest in the stock market, and they have different stocks, and they're watching their stocks go up or down. Like when you put out a machine, like it's not really going to go down unless you have like, I mean, it can go down if you have like spoilages or things that you have to, but you can write that off in your business. But for the most part, they only go up. They don't really go down, especially if you get good locations. So it's just building up. And then you have collections there that I don't do it full time. I have other things that I do to create my active income. And I have other businesses that take care of me that I do. This is just something I do on the side to keep investing in it, to keep it growing. And by me continuing to invest the money back in, that's why I've grown from one machine to multiple machines in multiple locations.
Yeah.
You know? So just, you know, I wouldn't look at it as just trying to start a whole lot of business. If you know, I guess it depends on your money situation, your financial situation, what you want to do.
True.
And what type of you want to get into. But if you're somebody who's starting with not much, and that's really who I'm kind of targeting with this approach, is because that was my approach to it. Just create it on the side. Don't look at it as something that's just going to pay you this and that. Oh, this is a movie that I'm going to pay this bill with and this bill with. Keep your job, pay your bills with that job, start this business and let it grow itself. You know, and then a year from now, you know, you can kind of sit back and you can collect some of that money and do whatever you need to do because you've grown the business strictly out of the business.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. And I think that's the best way to start this business. And I think people are going to be motivated after hearing what you're saying, everything you're saying, that they're going to want to go out and start their own business. But absolutely true. Just start. Don't overwhelm yourself. And you can be successful at this business. It doesn't take a lot. It really doesn't.
It doesn't take a lot of intelligence. You don't have to have a college degree or anything. Yeah, you have to have a certain level of education. You can be your own boss. You know, and it's something you've created for yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, it doesn't take much. I'm not telling you that it's going to make you like rich overnight or even in the first year, but it depends on how hard you grind. You know, it's not only placing machines. Like I say, I buy them in bulk to get a good, maybe somebody else who's getting out of the business, it didn't work for them. But just because it didn't work for them doesn't mean I can't make it work for me. Maybe they didn't have the will to hustle as hard as I do. You know, so they're getting out of it. They just want to get rid of it and get some of their money back. Okay, cool. I'll give you this much for your machines. They just want to get rid of them. You can talk them down and get a good price. Buy multiple machines, sell half of them, make your money back. Sell them individually, whatever. And now you got your machines pretty much for free. Like, I mean, it's so many ways you can approach this business. Place machines and sell them. So, like, I mean, and that's just with vending. There's so many other things you can do out there as an entrepreneur. But
absolutely,
man, I'm definitely looking forward to checking out this book you got too, man.
I got you, Mike. Don't worry, I got you. I'll send you a hard copy when I get the hard copy. I could also send you the ebook, but I think the hard copy is obviously it's cooler. It's easier. I'm a hard copy guy.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely promote it on my channel, man. I want to take a look at it, see what you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely,
I'm all about it.
It's definitely more so beginner, but there are things in there that I'm sure a vendor who's at it a year or so would still want to hear on tips for locating, tips for operating your business, even the business side, the incorporation side, what you should do or what I think you should do. There's a lot of cool tips in there. But yeah, I appreciate the support.
Definitely.